Tutorial 6, Question 3b. Express the following as partial fractions. You can see we've got a cubic on the denominator. To factorise it, we're going to look for a value of x that makes the denominator equal to 0. So let's try x equals 1. When x equals 1, we've got 4 plus 4 is 8, minus 7 is 1, plus 2. So when x is 1, the denominator is equal to 3. So x minus 1 is not a factor. When x is equal to 0, the denominator is equal to 2, so x obviously isn't a factor. When x equals minus 1, we're going to get minus 4 plus 4, so that's 0. Then we're going to get plus 7 plus 2, so that's going to be 9. So we'll try x equals minus 2. 2 cubed is 8, so minus 2 cubed is minus 8 times 4 is minus 32. 2 squared is 4 times 4 is 16, so minus 32 plus 16 gives us minus 16. Minus 7 times minus 2 is plus 14, plus 2 is plus 16. When x equals minus 2, the denominator is 0, so x plus 2 is a factor. So now we'll use algebraic division to divide the denominator by x plus 2. If we divide 4x cubed by x, we're going to get 4x squared. So that's going to be our first term. So now we multiply x plus 2 by 4x squared to get. So now we subtract 4x cubed plus 8x squared from 4x cubed plus 4x squared, which will give us minus 4x squared. Now we bring the minus 7x down. If we divide minus 4x squared by x, we're going to get minus 4x. And multiplying x minus 2 by minus 4x gives us minus 4x squared minus 8x. We now subtract that from minus 4x squared minus 7x. So minus 7x minus minus 8x leaves us with x. X divided by x is 1. We bring the 2 down. 1 times x plus 2 is x plus 2. So 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7x plus 2 is divisible by x plus 2 to give us the quadratic at the top there. The next step is to factorise the quadratic. We've got 2x and 2x, and there's a 1 there, so we'll stick a 1 and a 1. We want minus 4x, so they're probably going to be both negative. So we're going to get 2x times 2x is 4x squared. We're going to get 2x times minus 1, which will be minus 2x. Minus 1 times 2x is minus another 2x, so that's the minus 4x we want. And then minus 1 times minus 1 will give us the plus 1 we want there. So that means we've now got 3 factors for the denominator. So we can now write the original expression as 2x plus 1 over 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7x plus 2 is equal to a over x plus 2 plus b over 2x plus 1 plus c over 2x plus 1 squared. As usual, we want to get the right hand side over a common denominator, so we'll multiply the first term by 2x plus 1 squared over 2x plus 1 squared. We'll multiply the second term by x plus 2 over x plus 2 times 2x plus 1 over 2x plus 1. And we multiply the third term by x plus 2 over x plus 2, giving us this rather messy expression here. This denominator is the same as this denominator is the same as this denominator, and they're all the same as the left hand side, which means we can divide through by the denominator, giving us an equation in a, b and c. So when x is minus 2 times 2 is going to give us minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. Minus 2 times 2 is minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3 squared gives us 9. 9a equals minus 3, so a equals minus a third. The next step is to let x equal minus a half. So this bracket will go to 0, and so will this bracket, so that will give us an expression only in c. So if x equals minus a half, 2x is going to equal minus 1, so the left hand side will be 0. And on the right hand side we've got 2 minus a half c, which means that c is 0. And finally, if we let x equal 0, we can now substitute our value for a to get the value of b. 2 times 0 is 0, so we get a 1 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we get a times 1, and a was minus a third, so we're going to get minus a third, and we will get a 2 times 1, so we've got 2b. So b is equal to 2/3. So putting these back into the original equation, we're going to get 2x plus 1 over 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 7x plus 2 is equal to minus 1 over 3 brackets x plus 2 plus 2 over 3 brackets 2x plus 1. Is that correct? Well, we don't know until we've done a sanity check. So we're going to substitute our values for a and b and c into this equation. So a is minus a third, b is 2/3, and c is 0. Expand each of these brackets. We're going to get 4x squared plus 4x plus 1, and then we'll bring the minus sign in, so it's minus 4x squared minus 4x minus 1, and then in this term we've got 2x squared times 2, so that's 4x squared, and we've got x and 4x, so that's 5x times 2, which is where the 10x comes from, and then we've got 2 times 1 is 2 times 2 is 4, and that's all over 3 because both terms are over 3. So minus 4x squared plus 4x squared, they'll cancel. We've got minus 4x plus 10x, so that will give us 6x, and we've got plus 4 minus 1, so that will give us plus 3. So we've now got 6x plus 3 over 3. We can divide through by 3, giving us 2x plus 1, which is what we had here. So we can be reasonably confident that our answer is correct.